And I sound terrible. And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors. Welcome back to Gem of the Crypto episode two. I'm about to be way off. Episode 927. We just talked about this too before I went live. It's terrible. Today is April 12th, 2022, Tuesday. And I'm King.
I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10ish.
At 10ish. You talking about the worst, like literally worst podcast opening. I still don't know why we haven't pre-recorded these yet. We just got to just pre-record this so we can just play it when we start. But all right, what's up, everybody? Let's get to it. Today's top story is mega meetup. Of course, we'll be talking about the Bitcoin Conference 2022 recap. The two new territories are adopting Bitcoin. BlackRock joins stablecoin issuer Circle's $400 million funding round, and Animoca, I think I said it right, Animoca drives into crypto racing games with latest acquisition. But first, what is going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So taking a look at our prices today, Bitcoin's at $40,411, down 1.8%. Ethereum at $3,053, up 0.14%. Binance Coin at 414 is up 2.2% today. Solana at 107, up 4% today. XRP sitting at 71 cents is up 0.4%. Cardano at 96 cents, just a hair under $1, up 1% today. Terra Luna at $86, down 1% today. And rounding out our top 10 is Avalanche at $78, up 5.5%. And our biggest gainers for today are a few randos. Quad Token up 1,400%. Chicken Coin, come on, man, up 570%, and Indian Shiba Inu, another iteration of the Inu clan, up 487%.
All right, some quick shout outs. What's going on? DN, Dino ID, Next World Leader. What's going on? Shannon, BK Crypto, Crypto Vixen. And let's see. Yep, good to meet you as well. Next World Leader, Wyatt Try It. Patrick Walter. No, everybody say I look like I had a rough night. No, my sleep schedule was just thrown off because I went 3 hours up on the East Coast. And then I had to go to Texas yesterday. So I was in Texas, and that's 2 hours up. And I'm just all jacked up right now when it comes to sleep. Crypto Vixen said we should have a theme song. Good idea. We'll bring it one of these days. What's going on, Wendy's, Satoshi Slim, 5252 Crypto. Good to meet you too. The gents are the real deal. Thank you all for the privilege. Like, share, and subscribe and get the masterclass. Bitcoin, Miami Coin, get their warriors next year. There we go. Yeah, shout out to 5252 Crypto. Good to meet you as well. And yeah, all right. What we got going on? Top story of the day: Bitcoin 2022 conference recap. Out of 5 Bitcoin Zay, what would you give it?
I give it 4.5.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. It wasn't perfect, no such thing as perfect, but I give it a 4.5. Wasn't too much anything wrong. Maybe small stuff, but loved the conference. I give it about 4.5.
Yeah, I would say 4.5. And I already saw some of the Warriors. Hey, some of y'all are some salty dogs. Like you said, they are expecting a perfect conference. This is how I kind of, and I didn't even go into the conference intentionally trying to compare it like this. But while I was the first day or whatever, I just immediately started comparing it to other conferences I've been to in different industries, like mass tort conferences for lawyers, tech conferences and stuff. I'm like, this is an actual conference. It was a conference, people beginning, middle, end, as far as beginners in the space, intermediate levels, experts, people who are trying to sell things, buy things, want to learn about it. People who brought their friends for the first time to learn about Bitcoin, to get orange pill. I mean, prizes, giveaways, fun stuff going on. It was a conference. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somebody said that they had Comic-Con at the Convention Center. This could very well be just as big at some point. A lot of room, a lot of space. And I mean, at least 100 companies I've never heard of popped up. So yeah, this is a conference now. It's not just a few dudes at an open area drinking beers anymore.
Yeah. And with that, I mean, it was like, again, I meant to say, I forgot to go by her booth, but shout out to Lynn Ross Albrecht's mom. She was there with a booth as well. But yeah, it was too big. People, my second time, I think my third day there. Now, granted, you have to include the airport LAX, who American Airlines, who I will probably never fly with again, for whatever reason, had a flight going to Miami in the international terminal. So outside of those walks back and forth I had to do, I had
Sad.
already clocked about 26 miles on like day 2.5. Like day 3, I was at 26 miles of walking. The conference was that big. People like literally we were walking in circles around that bad boy. But shout out to CK again, Bitcoin Magazine or whatever. They took care of us while we were there also. So that was pretty cool to see the behind the scenes of some of the things they had going on also.
Oh yeah, and let me give a shout out to the Bitcoin conference for fixing the line problem. That was probably the biggest discussion last year. People standing out in the sun till 11 a.m. on sun on their neck, couldn't do nothing about it. But this year it was just straight through, very efficient. A lot of people working, a lot of volunteers. Thank goodness for that, because that makes everything smooth. If the opening is good, then everything else can go pretty smooth.
All right, let's see some of the comments. Nappy Ways, what was your favorite Bitcoin announcement? Mine was Strike plus NCR. Honestly, for me personally, like I said, this is why I considered it a real conference. I treated it like a real conference. I really didn't do too many announcements or watch people or none of that. Like I literally was going from what's it called, stand to stand, talking to each business, talking to like everything that's new in crypto. When it comes, like that's the meat of it, that and being outside and actually having the relationships and meeting people, which that also offered us opportunities to do. I'm sure Zay will go more in detail on, but yeah, when it comes to being inside the convention center during the day, two things. For one, you don't have to go to a conference. If you have your mission of why you need to go in the area, like you don't have to be at a conference. If you decide to go, which we did go to conference, I literally optimized my time going booth to booth or seeing old people I hadn't seen in forever or people I've known across the internet but haven't actually met. I use that for the conference, seeing what new technologies are on. And we'll be talking about that in a second. Some of the themes we also grasped from the conference as well. But what about you, Bitcoin Zay? What was your favorite announcement, I guess?
Oh yeah, definitely the same. Jack Marlis is the man. I actually got a chance to meet his mom and his dad at that Gemini party we were at. Yeah. I actually got to meet his parents, so that was dope. His announcement, I knew something big was coming, but that was the best announcement. I also liked the fact that there was opposition on the panel. Like there was people going at each other for once. We got some good dialogue going with that. But yeah, that was my favorite one, that announcement. And then I believe it was Greg Foss. He was an amazing speaker as well. His announcements about how Canada was working with them with the Bitcoin stuff. Big Canadian guy, big voice in the space. So those were my favorites.
Let's see. I just saw a good one. Wyatt Triad said, what insider knowledge did you guys find out at the conference? Anything big coming this summer?
Well, I don't know for sure, but yeah, based on the fact that, and we'll discuss that in a second, we got 2 new places making Bitcoin legal tender. I'm sure by the end of the summer, that'll be about five or six, speaking with a couple people there. So it should be interesting. And then also too, what's my guy's name? Fode Diop, as far as Lightning Network development, man, they about to get so much funding for that. So that'll be huge to see by this summer as well.
Let's see, PF. Who else saw the mechanical bull? Yeah, that was pretty cool. You could win a Bitcoin if you can hang on, but they were.
I wonder who won. I wonder who won that. Yeah.
God, I mean, they were around in every direction. Like the incredible
super
Hulk
joystick
had to win it.
Oh yeah, super joystick.
Les Squares in New Jersey's in the house. I enjoy your interview, Zay, on stage. Big ups. You got interviewed on stage?
Oh yeah, the Stacks conference. Yeah.
Okay.
That was good on there. Yeah, with Patrick Stanley from City Coins and Dan Hale. Dan Hale is good as well, talking about DeFi.
Oh, okay, there we go. Let's see. Jack Mahler's statement about what he wants to do with Strike. Would that hurt Ripple and projects like Ripple with the transfer of all forms of fiat? Is that him actually trying to build on ramps on Bitcoin specific?
Yeah. So basically, it would be, people say it's no use case for XRP. I wouldn't say it's completely gone in the eyes of XRP people, but to me, the use case has been gone since the beginning. You're not going to replace Swift without an army behind you. I'm sorry. And then even if you try to, with a few different settlement layers, you'll just be a niche crowd at most.
PR Art live from the DMV, home of go-go and politics, not techno. Good morning, gentlemen, crypto community. That's funny. Listen, that was the thing. Everybody was messing me at the conference like, hey, what you rapping? Techno, EDM, whatever. But of course, they actually had some playing there. And again, we're a local TX. Come on the show, local TX. I saw you on Twitter. You were the salty dog I was talking about. I saw local TX post on Twitter or something. It was like, oh, it's kind of like the concert was empty or something. Like, that's what we mean. So, perfect example, when they did have the concerts, I did actually want to see a couple of the concerts and the comedians. But Zay was like, hey, we get in the beach cabana and people are coming by. And it's like, well, we can do business from the cabana all day at the beach. I wanted to go to the beach at least one day. the day for the concerts and comedy is on a Saturday. So my point is, a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people on Saturday, instead of going to the concerts and stuff. Again, this was an actual conference. So the concerts and some of that fun stuff, it's like, yeah, if you have time, you go do that. But that's like for the people who are, this is their first conference, this is the first time being in orange peel, first time anything, like first time traveling, maybe this is for them to enjoy the entire experience. It's not to see how popular it can get, because I can tell you for a fact, most of the people who are players in the space were on a yacht, on the beach, at a party or something like that during those time frames. They weren't going back to spend their time doing that. They're optimizing their time with other people. I mean, it's people from around the world there, people. And shout out to all the people we met that we've known for years online, but never met, actually. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to 5252 Records. Saw him a few times, man. Got to speak extensively.
Right. Rambling Roy said, I've been to E3 in LA and this felt just as big. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been to some big conferences, people. This was a very, like, this is a really good conference. Really good. Network. Can I submit some candidates for the theme song? Again, that was just literally a fleeting moment. Please don't start emailing us about theme songs, folks. That's too much. That's too much to figure out right now. I don't even, that's where the scales are at. I don't need nothing else.
Found a studio, baby. About to record this Afrobeat song.
Yeah, that's what somebody said. Yeah, they say get a golf cart next time, Michael Kenny. I should. I think somebody actually was out there with a golf cart. A couple of people were. So, yep. Lightning is an MVP this year, said Leroy. I can't actually wait to see what Leroy writes up. He was there digging into it, as well as Alec. I know they're going to come up with some pretty cool stuff, so be on the lookout. Eastside Tony, shout out to Eastside Tony. We met him at the conference. One of the highlights of the conference was me having to tell security that David Portney was with me, so they would let him in. The look on his face, hilarious. Let's see. Jake Fever, you know you're funny. So I should have jumped on the bull and won that Bitcoin, split it with members, LOL, the squad. Like I said during the live stream, if y'all would have got it up to 1,000, I would have jumped on it. But hey, you failed me. You failed me. You all failed. I appreciate you failing on that one, because who wants to do that? Not me.
So bad. If you had footage of you on there moving your hips, oh yeah, that footage definitely be on be on this morning. You gotta move your hips.
They got me still. You remember Igo got me on one. I gave him one. I was like, all right, y'all. I said, if I ever call for a commercial, any help, I need y'all to be waving y'all hand around.
Oh man.
All right. Themes. Go ahead.
I would say, what was your funniest aspect of the conference? What was the funniest thing you saw?
The funniest thing. It was actually a few funny things. The funniest thing is the low-key presses that are happening at the conference. You gotta remember too. Yeah. This is the first time people haven't seen each other or been trying to see each other, all this different stuff. Shout out to John Sally. Got a chance to meet John Sally.
Yeah, shout out to John Sally, man. Hilarious in real life.
I'm just basically trying to keep so many things broad, because it is ongoing business. You know, I don't do that, people, especially when it's business on table. But like I said, it was there's definitely different types of people who are like, that's what I've been talking to. Or some people I went up to was like, hey, I hear you partner with this, or this is going on. You know, we know so-and-so, and they're like, oh, really? Oh, well, actually, I haven't been talking to them in like 12 weeks, like XYZ. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know what's going on. But that type of stuff, like the pettiness, I would say the pettiness was some of the funny stuff to me. What about you?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not as funny, but it's just random stuff that happened as a result of the conference. I don't know if people saw on Twitter, but there's been like a big outcry because somebody posted this picture of a YouTuber, Crypto Finally. Apparently, she takes different type of pictures, and then that showed up, and a bunch of people were saying now they're talking about women and that they were picking on her. Like, it's a huge thing on Twitter right now. But also, too, the second discussion, the bull. Everybody was talking about the bull not having any balls. Who cares, man? At least 5 people were going on about that, and I was like, who cares, man? The bull is nice. The bull is tight. A lot of people got a lot of pictures, but just some random stuff from the conference. But this always happens. Every year, it's always some blow off based off people meeting each other.
Yeah, and I highly doubt some of the blowback were from people actually at the conference, because again, if you've been to conferences, they did a good job. And then to keep it real too, I think they also did a good job of course, you had to pay for food and drinks and stuff, but there are enough opportunities as well where you could get free food and free drinks and things of that type throughout the conference as well. Let's see. I saw a couple other. That's what I saw. So I hear the tickets for next year's conference are going for $250. Do not miss out. So one thing we'll do before you all start buying them, Yes. We'll go back to Bitcoin Magazine. I actually got an email about some other stuff today. We'll go back to Bitcoin Magazine and see if we can get either a discount or even at the regular price, if we get enough warriors, buy them all before a certain date, perhaps, or something, they can figure out how to upgrade you or give you a different. We'll try to figure out something. So if we can package our community going, then there may be some reward from their side. So we'll look into it.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about the themes real quick. Bitcoin 22 conference themes. I wrote them down because I did not want to forget them. One of the things were, oh, here they go. Okay. So some of the things were crypto IRAs, people, the market either has spoke or they're trying to make it speak. But you remember the one, and shout out to iTrust. You know, I got a chance to meet the guy who the initial crypto IRA company who reached out to us, iTrust. This was before their Series A or whatever funding where they got like, I don't know, 200, 300, 700 million dollars, whatever, bazillion million dollars. They reached out, but I saw them at the conference. I think we actually had them on a live stream too when when I spoke to them. But I spoke to their rep and he kind of gave us what they had going on. But as the conference continued, people, we started seeing IRA booths around like, oh my, we already were planning to be everywhere level, but they're everywhere. So a couple of things, expect to see some crypto IRA advertising. If you want to say DeFi and be your own bank like I do, then don't listen to it. If you're one of those people who like, hey, I like the idea of crypto IRAs, then we'll find the best one for you as far as the deal. But yes, and again, we've been putting this off for now, I think like 3 months. Like, and the two we met at conference, they're buying that, like they're clawing at, trying to get the word out. But that is literally a theme right now. Crypto IRAs are a real thing. We saw at least 8 different businesses that had crypto IRAs going. So that is going to be a real thing going forward. They have money behind it. Like some of them have the biggest boots out there. So it's money behind crypto IRAs. They're definitely going after that market who's interested in that. I would say DeFi platforms in specific trying to collateralize loans, essentially. And shout out to Reggie. Shout out to Reggie Middleton. I'll let Reggie. So Reggie should be on the show tomorrow. He'll have his own show. Shout out to Reggie. I'll let him tell a story if he can. If he has time tomorrow, maybe another time. But essentially, of course, Reggie wanted to see what was going on in the DeFi community. Of course, with his patent that was being granted. But at one moment, we were at the same DeFi platform, whatever. And, you know, Reggie's going to make sure he gets the truth out of these companies. And one of the truths he got out of a company was essentially they were very largest bank, front-facing bank. So essentially, they're just the different name, crypto space, blah, blah, blah. But and shout out to Reggie Middleton again. He knew the questions I asked. He's like, "Where is you registered in the United States? Well, what registration, with license, where did you get your license?" After like 2 or 3 questions, he was like, "So you're actually working for this? Like, this is that bank?" And then they were like, "Yeah, we're actually like we are the front-facing end of that bank." So in general, right, it's crazy.
Putting lipstick on a pig, man.
and folks, come on, you don't even have to guess what bank it is. Who the biggest gang bank out there? You already know who it is. I just don't want the lawsuit. They come back and be like, well, we'll blah blah blah. But yeah, so crypto RAs, collateralized loans, and quote unquote DeFi platforms were huge. And then of course you saw this as well. I mean, there had to be a whole wing about mining Bitcoin, and mining in general is crazy right now. Did you notice any other things besides that? I know you have mentioned mining as well.
Oh yeah. It was a lot of mining companies that they were trying to basically push back against the environmental stuff. It was like a huge thing amongst miners to show why that was not true. And then also we saw that the miners in Texas are going to be using Tesla energy in order to mine Bitcoin, which I said on TV a year and a half ago, and I was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't they do it? And then here we are at the conference. Everybody was discussing that. The energy use case, like every stat thing they had was talking about energy consumption, environmental use case, and why it's good, renewable energies. It was great to see because they're not backing down. So good luck trying to defeat it with that argument. And plus, so I think somebody commented, it was a speaker who debunked it pretty well as well.
And shout out to Alec. That is the one I was thinking about when we were talking about DeFi. Decentralized identifiers. DIDs are coming. He said he saw multiple presentations. You're right. Manu and I, we also saw about 4 or 5 booths with identifiers, but it looks like the way they're going to actually do the identifying is from a centralized point with traditional companies where they actually onboard identifiers to the crypto space, decentralized space. And then from there, people can trust them that has been identified by these public companies that are out there already, or these bigger companies. Who knows that actually happened?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and did you hear about Bitcoin Magazine's YouTube got taken down
Right, I'm
like
seeing that
halfway through the
in the
conference?
comments right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Wow.
took them down halfway through the conference. I guess it was too much truth coming out or something, but they just was like, nope, can't have that. So he took off the live stream halfway through. Crazy
Yeah.
stuff. It was stuff happened all day.
Jake Fever, thank you for the tip. Bitcoin commerce is full of billionaires and millionaires with no security. Coming from where I'm from, man, this was 100% signed to buy and hold.
Oh,
They
it
have
was
some hidden
security.
ones.
Oh, it
They
was
have some hidden
security.
ones.
Trust me.
Security almost caught a fade with me, so there's definitely some security in
Oh,
there.
it
But
was some security. A lot of plain clothes. I
yeah,
can tell you that.
but the ones you can see, yeah, they were just a regular, just check and be ready to call for help if something happened because they can't do nothing.
Oh yeah.
All right. Also, one of the themes you had said, 2 new territories are adopting Bitcoin. What's going on with that?
Oh yeah. So it looks as though the legal tender train is continuing. Two new territories are adopting Bitcoin. Prospera is a jurisdiction on the Rotan Island off of the northern coast of Honduras, and Madeira, an autonomous region in Portugal, are adopting Bitcoin as de facto legal tender. This comes following the example of El Salvador, which came last year. So I've predicted we have 5 countries that will have legal tender by the end of the summer. So around August, September, we'll probably see about 5 total. If not, at least 5 have presented the bill. So this was exciting news simply because it's slow at first and all at once. It was El Salvador is a whole bunch of stuff about it, and then now it's 2 more countries. So what is the IMF going to do? They're going to go to every single country and issue something? We'll see. But a lot of smaller countries are seeing the promise of Bitcoin as legal tender and as a use case for people who don't have access to markets.
There it is. I see a lot of people are talking about the crypto IRAs in the chat. Like I said, people, I think I actually said it on a live stream too when we were filming. I told all the companies, they're interested in doing stuff. I was like, hey, be honest, I wouldn't use this product, and most of our community would not use this product. However, we do realize some people like it. Whatever. But also, I mean, hell, y'all talking about crypto IRA. Shit, I wouldn't do no traditional IRA either. Like, what?
Yeah, get out of here with that. I can't see my money until I'm 65.
Let me make it 30 versus like 35. Let me make it a 40. We talking about crypto or regular IRA. So again, for me, like, no, I'm not with any of it either. And I tell them that as well. We're open with them too, because we don't want them to, spend their money, be all pissed off. But they're cool. They're like, hey, cool. As long as for the few people who want it, we want to be the option they choose. So that's all that is. But yeah, I'm my own bank. I'm kind of on that path. Let's see. BlackRock is back in the news. BlackRock joined stablecoin issuer Circle's $400 million funding round. The story's in the title, but I wanted to bring this up because it's something you just mentioned as well, Zay, when it comes to XRP. Will they still be around as things that get built on Bitcoin's blockchain? But in general, I think the stable coins as we know them now could be in some trouble possibly as well. If the United States, as they mentioned already, doing that e-cash, whatever, if the United States does an e-cash, or if they just use like a Federal Reserve, CBDC or anything, or if the United States just blanketed says, hey, yeah, we're going to use 1 or 2 CBDCs, but the rest are illegal in the United States, and they can do that for a CBDC because there's a person behind most of them, then you could actually see the fall of CBDCs overnight, and investments like this could be terrible. Don't believe me? I mean, and to be honest, here's the thing, people. We already called this before. Circle, then they lose $300 million buying Poloniex after it was done. I mean, the Poloniex got rid of the group chat and everything, the troll box. People stopped trading on it. It was problems, withdrawing, blah, blah, blah. And then Circle bought it. Of course, I think Circle is also backed by Goldman Sachs. And then, of course, that was a big loss. The CEO got fired. He just joined the board. And here they are now, Circle saying, hey, we got this USDC, CBDC. We're the primary player. I think they could be taking another double L and now north of $700 million if this happens, because CBDCs may be a thing of the past before we know it. That's just my thought on it. I got to call it out publicly. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see these stable coins, the currency wars, because if you got USDC, remember Paxos? Remember that raised like 500 million with Bank of America and a few other people. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll have currency wars over which is the best stable coin, or if the Federal Reserve will come in and say, hey, all of your stable coins are invalid. This is the only true stable coin, because if it starts being looked at as, real digital cash for some people, I think that could cause a problem. That'll cause a rift. But if they're working together, which I think they are to an extent, then we'll see how it'll be issued out, or if people have their own choice. Either way, seems like a booby trap at this point, a honeypot, if you will, for using them, because if you're trying to get away from these banks, and they're still making money off of every transaction you do, every trade. You're essentially keeping them in power. So we'll see if people recognize that and then decide, no, we'll just use Lightning or we'll just use Satoshis.
All right, last but not least, Animoca, I think that's how I'm saying. Yeah, Animoca drives into crypto racing games with latest acquisition. Ended on some great news, I guess, for the industry. You have the NFT and metaverse investment firm, which plans to continue building out its Rev Motorsport ecosystem with the metaverse first approach. Who is Animoca, and what's going on with their latest acquisition in the metaverse?
Oh yeah, so Animoca Brands is a gaming and venture firm. They have purchased Eden Games. They publish Gear Club, Test Drive Series, a bunch of popular racing games. And with the acquisition, they plan to enhance their motorsport ecosystem by taking a metaverse first approach. So it'll be completely metaverse and take their existing titles as well as new ones in order to create blockchain-based racing games. So they partner with BMW, Bugatti, Porsche, and others. And what's crazy is they're doing this right before the F1 mobile racing comes next month. That'll be here first week of May, I think. So good timing on that, and introducing a metaverse where people can play the same games and essentially use a token. We told you it's coming, people. Every single sport is going to have some sort of blockchain-based game or some sort of team that accepts crypto at some point. So good to see here, and they'll probably have a lot of promotion in Miami first week of May, I'm guessing.
Yes. Hey, by the way, shout out to Miami. Yeah, if it had to be Miami or New York, because I definitely want something on the East Coast. I might have to get something down there in Miami. Miami's a good little spot. I like the weather. It was oh man, the food places were good. I like how Miami is like that LA lifestyle where it's like money talk, BS walk. It was pretty funny. And Alec and Alec them know in the comments. I don't know where you were at this night. But we went out to eat. Shout out to TC. Shout out to Yimmy O. Reggie Middleton came out as well. We went out to eat some little fancy restaurant. People, oh my goodness, the duck. Listen, you never had expensive duck like this, folks. All right, if you can't buy a $120 duck, don't sit at my table. No, listen, I'm talking. It was crazy though. But this is a nice place. It was supposed to close at 11, so I invite some more people out. And Alec and them were like, "No, it closes at 11." I didn't even get there to like 11:24. Hey, we was eating to like 12:30. Hey, you already know. It was
it'll close at 11.
Yeah, it still was packed. The music was playing, it was packed. They even called me up because of the reservation. It was like the kitchen closes at 11:15. I'm like, oh, okay. As soon as we get there, it's just like, okay. Like, yeah, all right. Everybody's ordering. Stop playing. Let's do this. So yeah, Miami is pretty cool. Leroy says a movie. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, and Animoca is powered and partnered with Theta. Is that a Theta signal? We will have to see. Let's see. Oh my goodness. All right. So really quick before we go, people, want to remind you to make sure you have your notifications on. The calendar will be up more than likely by tomorrow on the website, so you can actually track the shows. But at 10 a.m. Pacific time today, we will have our Law on Crypto episode with William Cross back again. Following that, a new contributor as well, Ocean, going to be premiering his show at 12 o'clock. Following that, let me make sure I got all these down packaged. It's a bunch of shows, people. I don't want to miss anything.
And that's 12 o'clock Pacific, right? 12
so everything's Pacific. My world revolves around Pacific, folks. Of course, right after the show, we'll have Antonio with the daily wrap up. And then 5 o'clock. That's what I didn't want to mention. I forget. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We have JG Wetwork Jams and his partner Crypto and Down on as well. And yeah, I was just about to agree with JG Wetwork. And this is the cool thing. I'm happy that people will be on our channel, because what did you just write? You just wrote something. He just, Luna Foundation created another liquidity pool excluding DAI, USDC, UST, and USDT are looking like the chosen Wall Street winners. Hey, I know you got to talk about this later, JJ. I don't know if that's the chosen winners, but check it out. So again, folks, all together, another 3 shows a day. Be on the lookout. All different types of stuff, all coins, more Bitcoin stuff, a little bit of everything. And of course, the legal side of what to expect in the market as well. Make sure you smash that like and share. You got anything Bitcoin today?
That's all for me. Have a good week, people.
All right. Oh, and if you haven't already, on our website, just scroll to the bottom. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. Hot fire. It is hilarious. It is like hilarious. So if you're missing it, you're missing it. But it's super hot fire. And then other than that, of course, make sure you check out that masterclass if you haven't already. Smash that like and share, and we will see you all later today with some more crypto news. But we'll see you tomorrow, another episode of TGOC. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see if I can actually turn this off right now. I always forget. I think I remember. Here we go. End stream on the studio. Boom.